Listen up, we're about to talk about critical life-saving advice around strokes. And if you're rolling your eyes thinking you might be too young for this information, think again. My next guest was just 31 when he experienced a stroke, and he doesn't want the same thing to happen to you. So here to explain is stroke survivor Andrew Salmon and Josh Snavely, the stroke program chair for Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So Andrew, I want to start with you. Like we just mentioned, you were 31 when you experienced a stroke. If you don't mind, if you can just walk us through what happened.
Yeah, it was a normal Friday. I was at the gym lifting, and I lifted too hard, tore my carotid artery, and then fast forward Monday, still thought it was a nagging injury from lifting, and was having lunch with my wife, and my stroke happened. Somehow the blood clot dislodged, and the rest is history.
Oh my goodness, that's got to be just terrifying for your wife and you. And who would have ever thought, too, in your early 30s, that something like that could happen when you're exercising, of all things. Josh, Andrew's story really highlights how a stroke can affect anyone. What are the key things people need to know about recognizing stroke symptoms?
Yeah, we have a mnemonic called BFAST, and that's what we use to help everybody identify the signs of stroke, not just those of us in the healthcare community, but everybody out in the populace. BFAST stands for balance. So if there's any sudden change in your balance, eyes for E, if your vision is off, if something suddenly happens and you can't see out of part of your eyes, that's a sign of a potential stroke. And then FAST, so any kind of facial drooping, arm weakness or leg weakness, speech difficulties, either where you can't get your words out clearly or you can't get the words out that you want to say, or even if you don't understand what people are saying to you. And then T stands for terrible headache, kind of the worst headache of your life, where you can't really function. It's just totally disabling headache. Those are all signs of a potential stroke, and it's time to call 911 if you have any of those symptoms or if you see anybody with those symptoms.
And so you need to act quickly too.
Absolutely.
That's important.
Yeah, time is of the essence, because depending on the type of stroke you had, there may be treatment options available for you, but the window for those treatments are very limited. Upwards of 3 hours, maybe a little bit longer depending on the situation. So it's imperative that as soon as you have any symptoms, you call 911 right away.
Okay. And Andrew, you've made a remarkable recovery, we hear. So talk to us about how that journey has been.
Yeah, I remember being in the ICU. I lost my speech. That was my biggest symptom. And just being able to communicate was difficult, but having a good care team, good partner with my wife just to kind of get through it. And building a community was number one. And so I still go to the same gym. It's still the same coach. Joe is one of my best friends. And just talking about it, really focusing on the stroke support group that Virginia Mason puts on. It's a way for all of us survivors and partners to come together and just talk, to celebrate the wins, pick you up with your losses, and then they're the ones that really kind of inspired me, along with my coach Joe, to get into cycling.
I know, look at you now. That's incredible.
And it was just a way to have a goal. Initially it was, can I walk around the block? Am I able to be at home alone again? And then it was, I want to do Seattle to Portland on my 1-year anniversary of my stroke. I was grateful that I didn't have a lot of limb deficiencies after my stroke. I was still able to do the things I love, and just had a goal, and was able to crush it.
Yeah, and you are crushing it. And I heard from another stroke survivor once, and he said, not yet. I can't do that yet, but it's a goal, and look at you now. And so Josh, what are some of the risk factors too for stroke? What can people do, of course, to reduce our risk?
Yeah, there's a lot of things we can do. One of the biggest, probably it is the biggest reason for stroke, is high blood pressure. And high blood pressure is known as the silent killer because it's not known. A lot of times when you have high blood pressure, you don't know it, you don't feel anything. But it is the highest risk when it comes to stroke causes, also heart attacks. So it's important, especially as we age, our blood pressure can become a little bit less regulated. So making sure that you're monitoring your blood pressure at home every once in a while, following up with your doctor, provider on a regular basis to get that managed, along with all of the other things that we know we're supposed to do, right? Eating healthy, trying to stay away from the fried foods, the fatty foods, if it's been a rough week, sometimes you got to have that burger and a beer, but at the same time, that can't be an every night thing. That's a splurge. So making sure you're eating plenty of healthy fruits and vegetables, staying active like Andrew. I mean, that's just ridiculous how much he's been able to do.
Amazing.
And he really is an inspiration to everybody to, recognize these are the changes I need to make to ensure that I don't have another event, or I don't have an event to begin with.
And Andrew, what do you want people to know about and learn from your experience?
Yeah, the number one thing is know that we're not alone. If a stroke does happen, there's communities out there, whether that be online, virtually, or in person, and just show up. You don't need to talk, but just being in a room with survivors was number one for me. 2, it's finding a goal, whether that be walking around the ICU, the block, or cycling. And then number 3 for me was the mental health resources. Was finding a therapist I can talk to, work through the trauma, the grief, look and talk about what my life looked like before, what I want it to look like moving forward, and how I can make those changes. And so just having those mental health resources were huge for me.
Gosh. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for being here today and sharing your story and all the important information. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for letting us spread the word.
Definitely.
Yeah, thank you.
And to learn more about what we discussed today, please visit the website that you see right there on your screen, vmfh.org/stroke.
This portion of New Day Northwest is sponsored by Virginia Mason Franciscan Health.